Every week on Wednesdays, we do the Canadian Football League Players Association Player Spotlight. And imagine my delight. Can we bring him in now? To bring in Canada's smartest man, the great Peter Dyakowski. Long-time CFLer, 07 to 2016 with the Ticats, 2017 Argos and Riders. And then he's gone on to many great things since. What up? What up, Pete?
Argos?
That's what it says here in 2017. You belonged to them for like a morning, didn't you?
I don't remember. I don't think that's got to be a typo. You know, I've heard there's
That's funny.
Something wrong with the league's transaction tracker.
I thought I saw a photo of it. It's on Wikipedia, Pete. But listen, you and I got to know each other in 2017 in Saskatchewan. What? Who says? Come on, Peter. When I saw your name come up as the guy that we were going to be interviewing this week's Spotlight, I was very excited to have you on because we haven't talked for a while. And before we get into some football stuff, how are things with you? What's going on? What's new?
Life is wonderful. I have two beautiful little girls and my lovely wife, Rachel, Louise and Helena. Louise just turned 7. Helena's 4, turning 5. They keep me very busy. I just went on a nice long bike ride with Louise last night. So that's keeping me quite busy. Still getting a bit of exercise. I'm in Hamilton here where the Niagara Escarpment is the main geographic feature running through the city. You see it on those beautiful camera angles of Tim Hortons Field. There's a nice steep staircase up that right by my house. I do that a couple mornings a week. I'm hitting the gym. Just got up 385 on the bench the other day. So I say all that, to put it out there. If there's any league personnel guys who are listening, I'm still staying in shape. We're getting towards the mid-season mark. I might have, a couple games left.
How about that?
Well, I think we'd all love to see you in uniform, Peter, because you were so great for a long, long time. I'll just say this real fast. My favorite moment of Peter was, and you remember this, we were on the bus from the airport to either the stadium or the hotel. You stood up and we went by your high school, and you said, guys, this is the closest any of you will get to greatness. Vancouver College, this is where I played. Do you remember that day? And all the guys, you were so proud of that.
Home of the Fighting Irish, the greatest team in high school football, and I'm just glad I was able to share that moment with them so they could all catch a glimpse of football paradise.
Guys, this is the closest you'll all get to greatness. This is my high school right here. It was fun, Pete, having you on that team in 2017. To get serious for a second, you were a player rep for such a long time in the Players Association. Why is that? Why is the Players Association so important in any league, but particularly the Canadian Football League?
Well, we have a challenge with new members coming in all the time. There's a lot of turnover on the roster. There's a lot of very unique rules in the CFL and realities that players face when they're negotiating contracts with teams. And we have a collective agreement that's evolved over many, many decades. Having a strong PA that makes sure that players know their rights, that know what's being negotiated on their behalf and are able to take advantage of it to protect themselves, to get the best deal that they can. And, football's a short career. Some guys only get a few years. So making sure that they have effective representation to help them make the most of that, and then to make sure that they're safe while they're doing that. Football is a tough sport. That's part of the draw. That was the appeal to me. It's the only workplace where you can go say whatever you want to the guy across me and then just, go bash into each other on the very next play. That comes with some drawbacks. And we've had a very important discussion in the whole sport of football, and really for the last 20 years, how to make it safer. The Players Association has played a big role in working with the league, and the league wants to make it safer too, working with the league to make the sport safer so that guys walk out of the locker room when they're done and can enjoy the many, many long years. There's a lot more life after football than while you're playing, even if you played for a very long time, as I'm finding out now. So we've done a lot to help make the game safer, and it's also important in a highly competitive environment where teams are working under the gun and they have a tight salary cap and economic realities. They have to make tough decisions. And sometimes the players need their Players Association to stick up for them when their team is stuck between a rock and a hard place and they're trying to make the most economical decisions. So we want to make sure the player is always protected in those cases.
Wonderful answer, Peter, and you didn't even know that I was going to ask you that. So bravo. But then again, you're Canada's smartest man. We got about 4 minutes left. I need you to, first of all, tell me about that. Tell me about Canada's smartest man. And that does that come up every day in your life?
Well, my wife reminds me now that was a long time ago. I have the trophy just over there in the corner of my office. I've got a lot of decorations. You can see Garney Henley there over my shoulder, watching over me while I work. It's off on the side. It was a lot of fun. I had the good fortune of having a really good night on a CBC program with a great title. So I won it, so no one can ever take it away from me. But ever since then, if I ever jumped offside, the coach would always be sure to either remind me of it or to call it into question. It's certainly something I don't mind showing up on Wikipedia, better than a couple of arrests or things like that, in another life maybe. So no complaints.
Oh, man. As soon as I saw your name, first thing I thought, Canada's smartest man. A lot of the audience writing in, asking the same question that I just did. Peter, you're a guy that needs to be involved with the CFL, and I'm so glad that you are. And you said on Twitter last night you're going to drop some bombs on the CFL landscape today. Is that you would welcome a comeback or are making a comeback, or is it something entirely different? What is it?
Well, I know my wife's not watching because she's in the next room eating lunch. So, yeah, let's talk comeback. Any coaches who are listening, I'm in great shape. I'm hitting the stairs every day. I still have that 24-inch vertical jump that I was known for. You know my phone number. I'm going to wait after the show and see who reaches out. That was a little bit of a teaser just to make sure, we had a lot of people tuning in here. The big bombshell is that I love the CFL. It's my favorite football league. I grew up watching it as a kid, going to BC Place Stadium when it was brand new and it was full to the rafters. And I can't wait till we see that era again in the CFL. There's a lot of bright spots. There's some frustrations. It's very terrible. I had my aunt and uncle from Edmonton in visiting us over the weekend. We were watching the Eskimos game the other night. And aside from noticing what a good player my former teammate AC Leonard is on their D line, the stadium, they need to get more people in there. So that's a perennial concern of mine. But I was also very excited seeing the warm welcome we got out on the East Coast. So I can't wait. I think 10 teams is a foregone conclusion. And maybe having us out there and Randy's semi-ultimatum is the catalyst that finally makes it happen.
I agree. James in Manitoba watching. He says, Peter is such a great guy. I did not know he was so funny. He's not. Don't pump his head.
Well, gosh,
Peter?
Thanks. I should have brought more jokes with me.
I know you're pretty good at thinking on your feet, obviously. Made a career of it. Stay in touch, my man, and thanks for the time today.
Rod, thanks for having me on.
CFL Great Peter Dyakowski, Canada's smartest man. He's got the trophy to prove it. Joining us from Hamilton today.